Hello everyone, Shinjoy here, aka Go Tiger, bringing you, well, to start out, a view of the new map Terra Firma that came out with the patch yesterday. It is pretty visually stunning. There are some minor issues with movement on it in different areas, slowing you down or stopping you, and there are some invisible walls around the center section in the lava lake itself. But outside of that, I think the map plays extremely well. And it is rather large. If you're looking to go around and flank your enemy and come in up behind them or from the side, it's possible, but you have to have some really good scouts working with you to be able to do that. Otherwise, the best thing that I found to do to find the enemy team is move up towards the center lava lake area, going ahead and keep views out from there for the enemy team, and then pounce upon them. That seems to be what most people are doing in the assault mode. Conquest mode is a little bit different. Obviously, played a couple matches with Conquest, and it's interesting. If you don't have a fast mech, you're in trouble. So I don't recommend playing this map unless you have a decently fast mech, 80 and 90 kph at a minimum. For Conquest, assault mode, playing slow assaults and stuff like that is okay. But even then, realize you gotta cover a lot of ground. Alright, so let's get down to what this guide's about. This guide is about the medium mechs, and telling you a little bit about them so that you have a better idea when you're going and you're looking out and what you want to play. First, we are going to start out with the Cicada. The Cicada plays pretty much like a light mech. A lot of people consider it a light mech, even though it is technically a medium mech. It has more armor than the light mechs, can carry more weapons and heavier weapons than the light mechs can. Doesn't go quite as fast as the light mechs, but even then it is the fastest medium mech that you're going to find. Next up we have the Blackjack. The Blackjack is pretty much a mini Jaeger mech, a Jaeger mech being a heavy mech. The Blackjack has two variants that can carry jump jets, and one of its variants can carry a much larger engine than the rest of them, which means that it can reach speeds of 100 kph and above. Alright, if you're going to play one of the variants, that's the one that I recommend that you play. It has mostly energy hardpoints on it, which means a lot of lasers, but it can pack a lot of weapons on a really small, highly maneuverable, agile frame. It doesn't have a lot of armor though, so this is definitely a mech that you want to use for harassing and hit and run tactics. Next up is a Trebuchet. The Trebuchet is predominantly seen as a missile platform, either LRMs or SRMs. When I play this mech, I prefer to play it as a highly mobile LRM platform. You can keep up with any strikers or harassers you have on your team. You're able to react if the enemy has moved behind cover to where the LRMs aren't reaching them. Due to its extremely fast speeds and high maneuverability, it's able to get around to where it would have shots to where the enemy isn't stuck behind cover and keep on the move, unlike traditional LRM boats that tend to go to one spot or one area and just shoot from there. The Trebuchet can move extremely fast and can get to a lot of high points due to having jump jets. Now this mech does work as a harasser and support role with SRMs and medium or large lasers, but that's a different play style. Both ways are valid. I just prefer to play it as more of a highly mobile LRM platform. Next we have the Centurion. The Centurion has ballistics, missile, and energy hardpoints. A lot of people play the Centurion as a striker brawler. When they are doing so, they normally play the Centurion 9A build as a zombie build. A zombie build meaning that you can get both arms and one torso shot off, or even both torsos shot off, and still be highly combat effective. The way I normally fit out a 9A is with 2 medium laser center torso, 3 SRM4s or SRM6s in the missile hardpoint torso, and leave everything else blank. Don't even use the ballistic hardpoint on it. Go ahead and decrease the armor on the arm some to beef up the armor on the torso and the legs, in your center torso obviously. Keep a standard engine in it. You do not want an XL in a Centurion. You can put the max standard engine in it and still have plenty of room left over for ammo, especially if you use endo steel and double heat sinks. It's an extremely effective build. And you have to use it as a striker harasser, obviously, or either as close range support for your heavy and assaults. Excuse me. And then last up we have the Hunchback. The Hunchback is what I'm playing in game right now is 4 SP, which has 5 energy hard points and 2 missile hard points. I play it as an almost stock build with 4 medium lasers, 2 SRM6s with Artemis. I play it with the Max standard engine in it, which is a 260. Endo steel, double heat sinks, ammo. There you go. It's fairly simple, fairly effective. I like to play it as an ambusher and a harasser. Ambusher to where, you know, you set up waiting for an injured mech to come by that's maybe looking to pull away from the front lines. You jump on him, take him out real quick. Or as a harasser, moving to the flank really quickly to draw the enemy's fire towards you and maybe turn their movement towards you a little bit while the rest of your forces, the rest of your team, comes up and smacks them in the side or back. It's really effective for that. Now, one thing, in tabletop, the medium mechs are seen as the workhorses. They're the most mechs on the battlefield generally, and that's what a lot of people tended to play, was medium and heavy mechs. In MWO with the current meta, you will not see a lot of medium mech played in the high elo brackets. It's just not done. Reason being, they can't carry a lot of weapons on them compared to heavies and assaults. They don't have nearly the armor to be able to stand up to heavies and assaults. So people just don't play it. They're seen as a detriment to the team almost in the high elo brackets. Of course, the high elo brackets are predominantly, you'll have maybe 1 or 2 heavies, 4 or 5 assaults, and a light. That's what the high elo brackets are going with, and they generally go with PPC causes, AC-20s. So in the face of that much pinpoint alpha and firepower coming out of medium mech, they just crumple. Even with the speed that they have, they just don't quite have enough agility to be able to survive in the high elo brackets that much. Now, that isn't to say that there aren't some players who do outstanding in the high elo brackets with medium mechs. There are definitely those out there, but they are that extreme of the bell curve. Now, where you will run into quite a few medium mechs is in the middle elo bracket and the middle upper elo brackets. You will start to see a lot of medium mechs there. And the way that most people play them is strikers, harassers. That's what you do with them. You do hit and run tactics. You swoop in on those injured heavy and assault mechs to take them out because they can't quite keep up with you sometimes. You wait until the battle has developed somewhat to where your heavies and assaults are engaged and have the other team engaged on them. And then you move in and just kind of pound someone, get in, get out, turn around, come back for another pass. You know, that's the way, if you're going to play a medium mech, that's the way that you play them. You don't want to try and stand toe-to-toe with the heavy and assaults by any means. Now, another thing about the medium mechs, a lot of people love them. I like my 4SP. A good buddy of mine loves playing the Centurion. He loves it. He plays it with an AC-20s, SRMs, and medium lasers. But a lot of people have found, just like I myself have found, there is generally a heavier assault, especially with the current meta, there is a heavier assault that can do the same exact job, okay, with more weapons and more armor and just as good maneuverability or speed. Me personally, instead of playing my Hunchback all the time, I end up playing a quick draw. Why? It has jump jets, which my Hunchback doesn't have. It has more armor. Almost, I believe it's a little over 100 more armor than my Hunchback has. I can fit more and heavier weapons on it. And it has a playstyle just like my Hunchback. I use it as a hit and run type deal, you know. I've got, on my main one, I got 4 medium lasers, 2 SRM6s. The exact same build that I have on my Hunchback here. And I have jump jets. And I go faster. And I have more armor. I mean, you know, there's no reason to really play a medium because of that. A friend of mine that loves playing his Centurion, he switched to a Victor. Why? Same reason that I switched to playing a quick draw. The Victor has jump jets. It can go just about as fast as his Centurion can. It has a hell of a lot more armor, and it can pack a hell of a lot more firepower, and it plays almost exactly the same. So my recommendation overall is play the mediums if you enjoy playing a medium. If you to change things up, go ahead and play one. If you really love them, yeah, you're going to concentrate on them. But for most general players, it's going to be frustrating to play a medium mech. I recommend going ahead and switching to a heavier assault in that sense. This is Shinjoy, aka Go Tiger here. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. Make sure to rate and like the video if it was helpful to you at all. And check me out in game. I generally, TeamSpeak server that I play on is the US Comstar TeamSpeak server. I play down in the Merc Corporation section, subsection being Hardcore. That's my mercenary corporation, Hardcore. We're open to new players stopping by, asking us questions, playing with us a little bit. And we're also recruiting experienced players. If you think you got what it takes, you're looking for a good group of guys to play with that aren't, you know, that aren't a bunch of douches, I guess you could say. We're relaxed, everybody enjoys having a good time. We do silly stuff, you know. We're not all about you have to play this, this, and this. 90% of the time it's, hey man, bring what you want, and we're good to go. Drop by and check us out. Let them know Go Tiger sent you. I hope to see you on the battlefield. Take care.